If no one's watching your videos and you're not getting any business from your videos, there's two reasons for that. We're going to fix one of those reasons right now, and that reason is they aren't clicking on your videos. So today we're going to talk about how do you create awesome thumbnails. But before we do that, I want to point something out to you. I am now trying to practice what I preach. And what I preach is that you don't have to spend a lot of time creating video content. It's not about fancy editing and music and sound effects and graphics and all of that kind of stuff and fancy gear. It's about creating stuff that has value and getting it out there as frequently as possible so you have enough hooks in the water to grab your potential clients, your buyers and sellers, so they're actually going to find your stuff. The more video content you create, the more chances they have to find you. And if you're spending 20 years crafting the perfect video, that's not going to help you, no matter how amazing that video turns out. You know, cinematographically. I don't even know what the word is. You know what I'm talking about, right? Even if the cinematography is amazing. So right now, this is a one-take wonder. It's really challenging for me because my background is as a Hollywood editor, and I created, I take a 2-hour Marvel movie and turn it into a 30-second commercial and spend a week crafting that, and that's my background, and I kind of, it's hard for me not to do that. So this is really hard for me to put myself out here raw, and this is like the second video in a row where it's going to be pretty much one take, probably no edits in this video, so you can see that, oh yeah, it's okay to stumble over yourself a little bit and not be perfect and look polished and not have music and sound effect and graphics and all that stuff, and just record it and put it out there. The key to making this work, though, is you got to plan a little bit. So I did create an outline that I'm going to follow, so you're going to see me looking at my phone, but the content is what matters to make people continue watching. Now today we're talking about the thumbnail, make them click, but the content keeps them watching. This content, this is gold. This is stuff that I haven't heard before. Some of it I have and I try to implement, and I'm trying to implement more of this in creating amazing thumbnails. You can jump ahead to get to that if you want, and the time code where I actually talk about those tips is right there if you want to jump ahead. So the point isn't to make you hear my stories, but this is kind of interesting. Right now I'm at Rendezvous Beach in Lake Town, Utah. Came to visit my grandkids. My daughter and two of her friends were on their paddle boards, and they all basically fell off, and the paddle boards blew away about 12 miles away that way. They're all fine, but the paddle boards have 2 phones on them, and Find Friends isn't working. So I'm here on a mission to retrieve those paddle boards, which I think the odds of us ever getting them back on this 8-mile by 30-mile lake are approximately 0. But I'm gonna go report to that rental office over there. Say, hey, in case you guys see some paddle boards blow up, they're ours, at least one of them is. Anyway, so this is part rescue mission. If you want to see if we ever found the paddle board, I'll probably post that on my other channel, which is linked down below. It's Life Untethered, L-Y-F-E Untethered. And there's a link for it right there if you care. But this is way more important. How do you create amazing thumbnails? Let's jump into it. People look at thumbnails, they scroll through their Instagram feed, their YouTube feed, through TikTok, and they see all these thumbnails. They can process a thumbnail in like 13 milliseconds, like just stupid fast. So you have to really, really grab their attention instantly. Remember, there are billions of videos on YouTube. So if your thumbnail doesn't like just pop and grab their attention, they're not going to click. So your thumbnail is critical. It is the most important thing in getting your video clicked on. And if you can make them click and make them watch it, you'll have success, period, on YouTube, Realtor, whatever. So to make them click, make that thumbnail just magical and pop. And in the past, I've talked about some of the basic things that help the video get popped, such as over sharpening, like make it in any software that you use, or if you use somebody on Fiverr, you don't have to do this stuff yourself. Use somebody on Fiverr, you over sharpen it, make it like extra focused and extra bright and colorful and poppy. Like that stuff helps a lot. But we're going to talk about some other things, and I learned most of these through Daryl Eves' new book called, I think it's the YouTube Formula, and you want to buy that book, dude. I'm telling you, it's a gold mine. There's a link for it down below. But this is the part on thumbnails. We're going to cover it all right now. And I'm looking down. Now, normally I'd be like, oh no, this is time to cut, but this is how it actually works. I look down at my notes. So another thing that your brain is really good at processing is faces. And there's been a gazillion studies, and typically videos that have faces in them get clicked more frequently than videos that don't. So you should probably have a face in every one of your videos, and not only a face, but an expressive face. If you're just sitting here like this, no bueno. You want an expressive animated face to create curiosity. The goal of your thumbnails is to try to tell a story with a thumbnail and create curiosity. So you have to click to see what happens. Now, here are some tips. Ready? Number 1, you want to plan your thumbnail before you ever shoot. Like, I've been thinking about this video for about a week, and I know my thumbnail is. You saw my thumbnail? I haven't shot it yet. I probably should have. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to shoot it. It's going to be a thumb for a thumbnail, right? Get it? Thumbnail. It's going to be a thumbnail with my face going like that, something like that. And you've already seen it because you clicked on this. Maybe you didn't tell me if it intrigued you. Tell me if you thought that thumbnail was stupid, but you clicked it anyway, or you thought it was amazing and you clicked it, or tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of that thumbnail? That's me trying to implement the stuff I'm telling you. Number one, plan before you shoot. Number two, you want to make it simple and readable. It should not be complex, have a bunch of junk in it. It should be just a very simple subject. Person and one other thing. Two people and one other thing, and something that's easily identifiable. Number three, there's something called the rule of thirds. Anybody that's in any kind of an art or design class knows about, or photography, video, you all know about the rule of thirds. Just basically put a tic-tac-toe board on a screen, and in those thirds where the lines intersect, that's where the action should be. And yes, rules are made to be broken, but mostly your action should be here or here. That's it. The intersection of the cross of the three lines, vertical and horizontal. And the reason is that's where the eye's kind of most automatically drawn to. And I want you to start looking. Look at photos. Look at professional photos, professional videos. Look at thumbnails. Watch movies. Look where the action is. It's like right now, okay, I'm a talking head, so I'm in the middle of the frame. That's fine. But to create interest, you follow the rule of thirds. I'm telling you, it works. It's gold, right? The other thing is, I mentioned earlier, bright, vibrant colors. In fact, there was a study that said that color contributes to 90% of the decisions you make when clicking on something or purchasing something. Color is 90%. How important is that? So it's got to be vibrant. And a tip with color is use probably two colors, and probably the best option is to use contrasting colors. Like you might have blue up here and orange down here. You can go on. I'm not going to teach you color theory now. I don't even know it very well at all. But if you look on a color wheel, you'll have colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. If you've got blue up here, you'll have some kind of an orange down here. So maybe use blue and orange. And you might think, blue and orange, teal and orange. That sounds, if you're a video guy, maybe you've heard of teal and orange. There's a reason for that. Teal and orange is a very common color combination they use in the movies, and the reason for that is our faces are they lean kind of orangish. On the color wheel, teal's the opposite of that. So if you got a teal face, my stupid orange face in the front, orange face, what'd I say? If you got an orange face in the foreground, a teal background is going to be most contrasty, so the face is gonna pop. So use contrasting colors. Look at the color wheel. I'm not saying use teal and orange. You go on the color wheel and use any opposite colors on there, and that's going to help your thumbnails pop. Just, you can find a million videos on Google to figure that out, right? Okay, next. We already talked about an expressive face with one object. And, the other thing. You want the face, you don't want the face back here. You can't even touch the face on a dot here. You want the face like here. And you want the face on, as you're looking at it, you want it on the right side of the frame, so that if you have any text, it can be on the left side, and YouTube's junk doesn't cover it up on the other side. And this might be backwards here, I can't tell, but typically you want your face on the right side, text on the left side when it's finished. If you shot it wrong, just flip it in post, and you're using your software. And because YouTube has stuff like, time code and junk on the right side, and so you want your face above that so it doesn't cover the text on the left side. That makes sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and post that in the comments below. By the way, if you need more help with this stuff, I did create a free webinar. It's at videosecretswebinar.com, and it's going to give you a bunch of tips for just blowing up your business with a video. So click on that. It's like an hour long, and it's free, and it's gold. And people that do that and follow it, they have success. So if you want success, click on that thing down there. Let's jump through here. See, here's the challenge when you're trying to do it in one take, but I'm just rolling with it. You're going to see the real Trevor. All right, here we go. Here's some ideas. Now, those are the generic tips. I should have put the windsock on this thing, and I'm hoping that, can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you still hear me even with the wind. I've got my little Rode video, no, what is this? Rode Wireless Go 2. I kind of dig this thing. Let's see how it goes in the wind. Darn it, I'm worried about the wind. Okay, here we go. So here's the ideas, right? You've got those tips. Use those for all of them, but these are like separate kinds of videos you can make. Okay, number one, make one that's got a face and an object. Like if you're making a video on, like the thumbnail for this one, my face is one thing and the big thumbnail, the other thing, face and object. Or if, you're doing a video on the iPhone, YouTube just came out, or, let's say that Apple just came out with a new phone. It's like your phone would be that big with a big face over here and maybe pointing at it, right? Like that big. So face and an object, that's one thing. And with the face, make the face close and make the eyes bright. Sometimes they'd be looking away, but you want to connect with them. So probably eyes looking at the camera. So you're connecting, and eyes bright. And here I'm in the shades. I'm not sure how bright I can make this in post. Like the only thing I'll do, I'll color correct this a little bit. It's a bright background. But you want a face and an object. Next thing, ready? I know you're ready. Here we go. You can also have just an object. If you're doing like the brand new EarPods Pro version 27, fill the entire frame with these things, right? The whole frame, and make it interesting and fun. So one huge object that is of great interest to people in your market, whatever it is. And maybe it's a new feature in houses, like a new iHome thing for houses, because you're a realtor. So make it, obviously related to the video. It's got to be related to the video. It's got to be directly related to the video. That goes without saying. Next, you can have two faces with an object in the middle. Look at this new amazing fob. Wow. Big faces, big object, face, object in the middle. That's another option. And use one of these for all your videos. I'm telling you, these work. Next, 3 panels. This is cool. People like, so it's like you divide the screen in 3 panels. You can do it horizontally or vertically. I'd suggest vertically. Normally, and like, let's say if you're doing a mic review, it's like, here's the cheap mic right here. It's a cheap lavalier mic. And here's a slightly better mic, and maybe it's a little bigger. And here's the mother of all mics. It's a Neumann TLM 103 for $1,000, the greatest mic for $1,000 in the world. And you just have like good, better, best. People love good, better, best. And you have to do something that's relevant to your video. So 3 panel. The other one is 2 panel, and this is gold. In fact, here's an example of a 2 panel one right up. There's a link to a video I did on my other channel with a 2 panel, a before and after of my RV renovation. Line down the middle, before, after. And you want it to be readable. Now, I don't love my thumbnail for that one because it's not that readable, but I'm telling you, people love before and afters. So if you can do a before and after, if you're renovating homes and selling them, or you've got a brand new house on the market, used to look like this and now it looks like this. Wow, people will click on that. So people love before and after. So line down the middle, before, after. You can put the words before and after on there if you want, unless it's super obvious, you don't have to. So 2 panel. Next, text. So with a before and after or 3 mics, that's kind of telling a story, right? Like, oh, it looked like this before, and they went through the process, and now here it is, it's changed after. It's like, that's a story, before and after. If you can't tell the story, remember, the goal is to tell the story with the thumbnail. If you can't tell the story with a thumbnail, then use a little bit of text. And remember, you want the text on I have to picture it, faces on the right, which is probably the opposite of the faces on the right, text is on the left so that it doesn't get blocked, and 2 to 4 big words max. You see people putting on their brokerage and their phone numbers and all this junk that doesn't matter. You don't need any of that stuff, man. Just 2 to 4 words that help tell the story. Another huge nubcake mistake is people will have a title, the top 10 neighborhoods in Simi Valley, California. Then they'll have the text say, the top 10 neighborhoods in Simi Valley, California. You don't do that. The title should be one thing that is searchable for sure. SEO stuff, helps a little, not as much as the thumbnail, but you got to do a little bit of that. Find a topic they're searching for. So have a title that tells you what the video is about, and then have text in a thumbnail that complements the title, but that doesn't repeat the title. Got it? So the title says one thing, the text complements it and creates that curiosity. 2 to 4 words, big, readable, max. Right? Next. See, this is the drawback. Like I hate the ums and the waiting, man. Okay, next is you can point. Like, hey, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Point at the text. Point at that other object. Point at those huge iPhones. Whatever. Point there like that, or point with an arrow, or draw a circle, a red circle around it, like with an arrow pointing at it. That creates curiosity. So little graphics that create curiosity. When I say little, I mean very obvious, blatant graphics, like a circle or an arrow to create curiosity. Another technique, try it, it works. Next, perspective. You want to make it, everyone's got a different brand. You got to stay consistent with your brand. But look at some of the top creators on the planet, and not necessarily, some of them real estate agents, some of them not. Like I always refer to Mr. Beast. That guy does brilliant thumbnails. Look at his stuff. It's gold, but sometimes he'll do crazy perspective, like a big head on a little body, or the iPhone. You take a picture of these, you cut them out and you make them excessively large, or it would probably be better to do this, like, have these things and you cut them out in your little editing app, and then just have them huge, like scaled like this big on either side. So it's like, whoa, look at the size of those. You get a good look at them, and it's way big compared to my head. And you can't really do it like this, but almost. You get the idea, right? So perspective, super small or super big, creates perspective, it creates interest, and it creates curiosity. Again, you want to be consistent with your brand. Next, action. Something like, you're about to smash a piece of glass with a hammer, and it's like, oh, I gotta see what happens. Or it could be about, bulletproof home glass, and you're like about to hit it with a sledgehammer, and you stop right before. Action. Remember, tell a story. What's the story? Wow, they made bulletproof glass. This guy's gonna try to break it with a sledgehammer, right? So, and I know like some real estate videos aren't that exciting, but you've got to think about what's gonna create that excitement and that emotion. So what do you want? You wanna tell a story, and you want them to feel something. Okay, I've said this like 5 times already, but it has to look good when it's small. It has to be readable even if it's, on your phone, it's gonna be this big, right? Most videos get watched on mobile. Thumbnails on mobile are very, very small. So here's a trick. Go ahead and create your thumbnail using whatever app you use, then stick it on your phone and shrink it down on your phone so it takes up like, 1/8 of your screen, and then close your eyes, blink, blink your eyes open and look at it and see if it was readable. Was it readable when you blinked? I mean, you know what it is. Go to somebody else in your house, go, hey, mom, dad, spouse, friend, whatever. Look at this. I want you to look at this. Okay, just blink your eyes. Boom, and have them blink and see if they could identify what it was. See if it passes the blink test with somebody that doesn't know what it is. Dude, this stuff works. You got to do it. Make it blinkable. Make blinkable thumbnails. I just coined that term. Another tip is, look at thumbnails that other people have done on the same topic and be inspired by them. Just do a search in YouTube and on Google, look at other thumbnails and images, be inspired by those, and which ones pop out. Just blink your eyes. Which one did you see? Be inspired by that one and make something similar. Another thing you really want to do is take the time to make or have made 2 or 3 different thumbnails, and then you can actually A/B test 2 thumbnails using a tool called TubeBuddy. You don't have to do that. Supposedly, YouTube is going to come out with an option to do this sometime in the future. They haven't yet. So as of this recording in the middle of 2021, TubeBuddy is the best way to A/B test. Yes, it's the Legend plan, so it's not free, but I do it on almost all of my videos now on both of my main channels right now, where I'll create 2 thumbnails and I will see which one gets the most clicks. So it runs one thumbnail for 24 hours, and then it runs the other thumbnail for 24 hours, and it tells me what the CTR is, the click-through rate. And it's like, oh, the click-through rate on this one was 4.7%. The click-through rate on this one was 8%. It's like, well, this one's almost twice as good, so let's just run that one. And they'll run the test until it is statistically significant or until you tell it to stop. So there's a link for TubeBuddy down below. There's a free trial. The free trial doesn't include the A/B testing, but it has some other features that are great. So you want to check that out potentially. But even if you don't run an A/B test, you create 2 thumbnails and go, which one is better? Show 5 people. Which one are you going to click on? It's gold. I'm telling you, it's that important. People will often just record a video and, as an afterthought, grab a screen grab from the video and just throw it up there. And that is the quickest way to fail on YouTube, is not to think about your thumbnails. Next. Last thing, when somebody looks at that thumbnail, do they get excited or curious? If they don't, try something else. For more tips on creating thumbnails, click on that video right up there. Hit that subscribe button. Dude, hit like, man. I'm out here. It's 101 degrees out here. Just give me a like. I can't wait to see your incredible freaking thumbnails.